It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We are in the Mothership Studio 22. It is a Monday, and it looks like the weekend just crawled on my face and died. The Puppet Master, Mark, the Perfectionist, is at the helm alongside Super Mario, Chris Cruz. They're flying us into the nether regions of all things insanity. Man, I'm excited about this week. I don't even know why. Just crisscrossing Texas, having a blast doing it. The one, the only Francis O'Rourke, Robert Francis O'Rourke, in case you're confusing him with the other Francis O'Rourkes of the world, has announced that he is running for governor. I think he's running on the lunatic left progressive party. So anyway, expect to see tens of millions of Hollywood and California money pumped into Texas in order to try to get him elected. People need to be aware of this, though, because when Beto, or as I call him, Pendejo, as he runs, he won the down ballot in 2018. People don't understand how many House and Senate seats and local seats, municipalities, council seats he flipped just by the very nature of being on the ballot. So I encourage people to support him by going to Beto22.com, Beto22.com. Just trust me, go to Beto22.com and follow the instructions. My good friend, Shelley Luther, is in the hot seat today. Shelley, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I love coming here. Thanks for having me.
Don't you say one thing. No, don't make any announcements yet. Don't say anything that we want to tell people until after the break.
Okay.
But in the meantime, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
We've been all over Texas talking to all these people, trying to figure out what they want. And they love a lot of Chad Prather, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know what I see is people always, they never know what to expect. They come to the campaign events and they don't know. Even
they
sometimes,
still don't know, Chad.
Listen, after I talk to them for half an hour, they're like, we see you in a different light now. Yeah. So that's interesting. But no, I appreciate you and Chris Cross. What do you think about Beto getting in this thing? I mean, we knew it was coming.
I just think that makes people like us a lot more important.
What I was thinking this morning driving to the studio is what I'm afraid the response is going to be is now people are going to be scared when it comes to this primary election because they're going to say we've got to put Abbott back in there because we know Abbott can beat him.
You know what the problem is, and this it's a lot of my people that follow me too. We don't understand the primary election is against Republicans only.
Right.
So we're still getting that fight back where people are like, no, we have to vote for Abbott or Beto's going to win. And it's like, no, we have a whole primary election before all of this.
Yeah.
Abbott hasn't had a challenger before. And we need that fight to happen.
You know, I keep telling people like back in the baseball playoffs, that's like saying, no, I don't care if the Astros and the Red Sox are in the playoffs. I believe the Yankees should be the ones who go and play Atlanta
exactly
in the World Series. Forget the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's just put our favorite team that we know has the one we've heard of,
right.
The Yankees. Let's put them in
the safe
again.
one.
Yeah.
The safe team.
Now, people have got to get away from that. They've got to get away from that. But a lot of it, I think, boils down to people don't understand what the primary is. They don't understand a primary election.
Well, I think everybody should have a challenger. Everybody should have a challenger because if we didn't challenge Greg Abbott going into this race, we still don't know what he stands for because he doesn't, and he changes like a windsock anyway.
Right.
But he needs to tell us what he's going to do, and then we need to be able to hold him accountable. And if he doesn't tell us what he's going to do, how do we hold him accountable?
That's right. It's a great point, actually. I'm going to start using that.
Think you should.
Yeah.
I'll give that one to you.
Listen, between people like you and Robert West and a few other folks that I bounce around and see every now and then, I listen to y'all talk and I'm like, I'm stealing that.
You should. You should.
That's a good
We don't
point.
have to reinvent the wheel. We're all on the same team. We just want good people in there. I'll give you credit
until I say it the second time, then it's mine. Then it originated with me.
Take it.
No, but I appreciate what you're doing. Does it seem like a million years ago that the whole Salon debacle? I don't even think about that anymore.
It's been a year and a half.
Seems like forever.
It seems like forever. And yes, I'm a salon owner, but it's much more than that now. We definitely have changed paths, and God's led us in a totally different direction. And I feel like my life up to that point, I was preparing for this.
Right.
I just didn't know.
It's kind of crazy, though, because you think about that, and you're like, you never know what the difference a year and a half makes. Your world's drastically
Well, first
changed.
of all, when I was first on your show, We didn't know anything. I knew nothing. All I know is I wanted to stand up for freedom. I didn't know much about the Republican Party. I didn't know much about who the officials were and what they were doing. But let me tell you, it's like drinking from a water hose. We have taken in, and I'm sure you have too, just in the time that you've been running for governor. You don't have to talk to these politicians to find out what Texas wants. You talk to the Texans to find out what Texas wants, and I'm telling you, they want something totally different than what's happening now.
We're going to take a break. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody we've got the brand new ChadPrather.com is up and running. That is my new blog site that we're putting out. I'm putting articles out every day. And, of course, it's should be good. And because social media has censored us so bad, I just want you to get in the habit every day of going to ChadPrather.com. And as I said last week, please go to WatchChad.com. I need your email address. Just give it to me, okay? I promise not to blow you up. Just give it to me. Your email address at WatchChad.com. Hey, you have homeowners insurance for a good reason, because without it, a fire, flood, or burglary could destroy you financially. But there's another major crime that your homeowner's policy doesn't cover. It's called home title fraud. FBI calls title fraud one of the fastest growing crimes, and it can ruin you financially, which is why you need Home Title Lock. Title fraud happens when a criminal forges your signature on documents stating you sold your home to him. Then he takes out loans against your home and leaves you with the payments. You're going to spend a fortune in legal fees trying to prove that you didn't commit fraud. Home Title Lock puts a barrier around your home's title the instant they detect anyone, from a cyber thief to a renter to a relative trying to forge their way onto your home's title. They're going to shut that down. So go to HometitleLock.com. You can register your address and see if you're already a victim. Enter code RADIO for 30 days free protection. That's code RADIO, HometitleLock.com, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Shelley Luther. Oh, my goodness. We really are gluttons for punishment.
Seriously.
It's like we just love stress. I think I'm going to run for president next. I mean, why not?
You should.
Why not? Why not?
Texas isn't big enough.
No, it's not. So you ran for state senate.
I did.
In the state of Texas. And we all know how that was a crazy debacle that happened. Obviously, the governor threw a lot of weight behind your opponent, and it got pretty shady.
Apparently, they spent about $8 million to beat me.
Yeah, a lot of money got spent.
Which I wonder, why? What are they so afraid of?
Exactly. I keep reminding people, I said, only 15 or 16 people in the Texas House are even supporting a fourth session for the vaccine, employer-led or employer-mandated vaccines.
Right.
And there's 101 Republicans in the House.
Right.
And only 15 or 16 are supporting that. That tells you everything you need to know right there. Oh, anyway. But you got a new adventure ahead of you.
I do.
What are you doing?
We are going to run for Texas House in District 62. We just announced this morning.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
See, I knew something was coming with you.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, think that something's coming. Here's the thing, and you will say the same thing. We go around, we're speaking to people all across Texas, right?
Yeah.
Get up. You've got to have courage. You've got to vote. Not just vote. You've got to block walk. You've got to donate. You've got to do all these things. And, I was a high school teacher and a coach. I don't ever tell people to do things that I would not do myself.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to run this time because we feel like we have a lot of influence, maybe not being, in the House or in the Senate, but I cannot tell people to do something and not say, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. Follow me. Let's do this together. And we've had a lot of people stand up and want to run for things. And I'm just not a hypocrite. So let's do it.
So obviously, the guy who's sitting in that seat right now, he's got to be ripping his britches. I mean, he's got to not be happy about this.
He should.
Was he blindsided, you think?
He knew we moved to the area. We moved to that area after we campaigned in that district. And my husband, Tim, and I were like, we love these people here.
It's a great place.
It's a great place. It's still the Bible Belt. It's still real Texas, wave at people when you drive by type of place. And we rescue horses. So we needed, more land so we could rescue more horses. So we moved out to Grayson County. And, yeah, he should be ripping his pants, as you said, because we're
Ripped them
bringing
britches.
on we're bringing on a fight.
You are.
Yeah.
And a formidable one at that, because I know the punch that you pack. So,
Well, we sent out probably 250,000 emails this morning with our campaign video and asking for donations. And of course, across social media, we've got a pretty good presence.
yeah.
And we have great friends like you that help us out too. But we wouldn't have run against him if he would have been voting the right way.
Right.
And when I say voting the right way, he has a 66% voting record as a conservative in the Texas House. He voted to let the Democrats have their chair positions in the committees after they left quorum. He voted to not hold ERCOT responsible for killing people in their own home. And he specifically told me the last time I spoke with him face to face that he thinks that you need to get along with Democrats to make things happen in the House. And I don't believe that.
I'm so tired of that mindset.
I'm sick of it.
I'm so tired of that mindset.
We don't have to get along with the Democrats. And this is Texas. And we have conservative values. And if people don't like it here, they can leave.
Yeah. These are people that want to brainwash your children if they even allow them to be born. They're people who want to gender mutilate them, chemically castrate them.
And then once they get them in school, they want to teach it, if you're white, you're not worth anything.
Exactly.
That's a joke.
So no, I don't get along with people like that. And I don't get along with people who run away from their job in order to hide underneath Nancy Pelosi's skirt in Washington, D.C., and then come back without any consequences. And let me check. No, he doesn't care if they have a fourth session about employer-mandated vaccines.
You don't even have to check because he's so wishy-washy. He won't tell you his own opinion because he's afraid of it.
Yeah. These guys make me sick. They really do. And I'm sick and tired of it. And, everybody, like, again, I've often said there's maybe 5 people in Austin I trust, that I like and trust. The rest of them, they all just need to go.
And that and like they're about on the line of I may not trust you.
Right.
Politics, I've learned that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had every rumor said about you possible, and with
Only
us
90%
too.
are true.
I don't even care. Who cares?
It
Who
doesn't
cares?
matter.
First of all, what they're saying about me, I mean, most of it's, it's crazy town. It's crazy. But here's the one thing. You and I will stand up. When it comes down to it, we back what we say, and we do what we say. And politicians, they don't do that.
Right. No,
and we're not politicians.
I remind people, you could say anything about me. I mean, God knows, I've been there, done it. I've seen it all, done it all. You can say what you want, but I've consistently always been the same person.
Correct.
I've always had the same convictions. And I can tell you that based on what you're choosing to do, this is a woman who doesn't need publicity.
No, I don't want the publicity.
Exactly.
If we could do this without the publicity.
People always say, this is a publicity stunt. It's like, you don't want that.
I don't.
Nobody wants that publicity.
No, it's never good. And, as far as your family is concerned, and we have kids that are getting drugged through the mud, this is a sacrifice that we're making because we feel like if we don't do this, Texas goes under, and if Texas goes under, so does the world, honestly.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
You're right, because there's a huge target on the back of Texas. We know with Robert Francis running now, we're going to see tens of millions of dollars pumped in here. Hollywood money, special interest money, Silicon Valley. Basically all the same people who donate to Greg Abbott, they're going to donate to him too.
Well, what's funny is all that money is going to come from out of state. They don't even live here.
Right.
So stay in your own state, keep your money in your own state, and let Texas be Texas.
Yeah.
And we this is
Unless
a very
you want to donate to me or Shelley, then
well, that's
we
different.
love
No, I'm
that.
just kidding. But I mean, as far as this is a very rural area.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love Grayson County. I think
Grayson, Delta, Fannin, Franklin.
Incredible. Yeah.
These people just want to be left alone, and they want their freedom. They want their kids to be taught with Christian values.
Yeah.
And we don't want anything to do with Beto, or he shouldn't come to our place, and especially ask for our guns because he might not make it out.
That's right. That's right. I love how that, well, I'm not going to spend any time talking about that guy anymore. We all know he's a piece of garbage. And there's a lot of garbage in Texas, a lot of trash in Texas that needs to be taken out. So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. I mean, I understand you're just trying to get rich, and this is the way to do it.
And if anybody understood campaign rule, you can't even spend your own damn campaign money. So,
no, I don't even know where our bank is. I don't. I have zero access to it. I don't have.
There's no money in there anyway.
There's no money.
Where can they go to donate to?
Exactly. I need all they can get. I mean, seriously, you want to talk about running on fumes?
I know.
Prather2022.com, or as I alluded to earlier, Beto22.com still comes to me. Speaking of websites, what is yours?
Luther4, the number 4, Luther4Texas.com. We just launched today. You could see our campaign video.
Yeah.
We are in it to win it. And I believe we will. Oh, we're going to win this.
You're going to win this one.
And
yep.
I just don't represent the people of these 4 counties, because once we get in the Texas House, we're going to make sure that all of these rhino Republicans that are not doing the right thing, we're going to expose them.
Yeah.
And so we can make sure and get those guys out too. And that's how we do it. Pluck them out one at a time and get our army built.
Yeah.
And make Texas Texas again.
Well, you can relate, because you're this way, you're wired this way. I keep telling people, I said, y'all need me to stay in this race as long as possible, because you don't want me off the leash, right?
That's right.
Right now, I've got the Ethics Commission kind of with the thumb on me. You've been able to go out there, crisscross the state, be outspoken. You know more than anybody what the heart of those people who, as I call them, the spirit of Texas, you know that spirit.
Well, a lot of people ask, how did you learn so much about, Texas and the values and all? And I'm like, this is crazy, but I talk to the people.
Yeah.
And I listen to them. And it's actually more about listening.
Yeah.
Me, less talking for me, more listening from them.
And the thing about it is, most people go, where is Grayson County? Look it up. You need to look it up.
It's under Oklahoma. It's like, it's 15, 20 minutes. We live 15, 20 minutes south of Oklahoma.
Yeah. I keep saying, I now refer to every place as a county. I don't even think about the cities or towns I go to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The scary thing about an O'Rourke running is one thing for the cities to go blue, and they have, but the towns, they're going to come after the towns. We're already seeing that. I mean, I talked to the mayor out in Princeton, Texas.
Well, they're coming after our schools.
Yeah, and they're
indoctrinating our
kids.
They're trying the school boards. I mean, just in Grayson County, we had to fight against the Sherman School District for masking our kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the world, people? If these counties that are the very rural counties, if we don't have representatives, at least, that are the most conservative, then that's when Texas goes.
Yeah.
I can understand if we have a Republican rep that's, right in Frisco or right outside of Dallas, some of their constituents might be a little bit more moderate. Ours are not. We cannot have a moderate representative for our county. We just can't.
No, you can't. I know that when I've come up there and spent time with those folks in Grayson County, it's still very raw, like the mask situation and fighting with the school boards. I mean, that's still very much a hotbed issue. Mm-hmm. They're like, don't mess with our kids, And so the fight is there, and I think you're a fighter, obviously, and I think you're going to be a good champion for that county. So I'm glad you're doing it.
Thank you.
I knew something was coming. I was hoping this was what it was. You
were hoping I wasn't running for governor.
No, I would not. No, I would not appreciate that. I wouldn't like that at all.
No. A lot of people said that. I'm like, it's pretty late to start that race, I think.
I think for a little while I was thinking maybe she runs for lieutenant governor. I didn't know. Anything was up in the air.
I don't know if they could handle both of us up there together. That might be too much for people.
It would be crazy.
It would be too much
Set that sucker on
honesty
fire.
And common sense going on up there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm tired of politics as usual.
Me too.
I'm tired of it. And what I've seen, I'll never look away from. I'll never shut up about it. About Texas politics. I will never walk away from it.
And people keep asking, is her 15 minutes of fame up? I'm like, it's been a year and a half. Will you donate to my campaign?
Exactly. Here we are. Because when you truly represent people out there, they don't let you go away. And they're not going to let you go away. And that's the beauty of what's going on.
I love Texas.
Yeah.
I love Texas for what Texas is.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to go away. I'm scared that's going to happen. And so no matter the sacrifice that our family has to make, we're going to make it.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of times I keep reminding people to say, when we talk about God bless Texas, you say that enough times that you tend to lose its meaning, and it's a sacred thing, But we really are blessed here in this state, and we're seeing an affront. We're being attacked from the outside and from the inside. And the target is here. and there's a lot of pandering on the inside and becoming big government. We've got to have people who get involved from precinct chairs all the way up, who are just willing to say, look, we're going to put our money and our time where our mouth is, and we're going to do it. We're going to step in and do it.
Voting's not enough anymore.
Yeah.
That's what's sad. We need your vote. We need your money. We need you walking. We need you calling. We need spreading on social media, everything you can possibly do, because if you don't want to look back and say, I wish I would have.
Yeah. You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
We're both crazy.
No, I'm glad you're doing it. Luther, the number 4, the numeral 4, Luther4Texas.com. Good job on the announcement video.
Thank you.
And where you headed?
We are headed to, I think, Beaumont today, and we'll be near Round Rock tomorrow. Not that those are in our district. We had those scheduled, and we don't like to cancel things that we've done. But we'll be making phone. You might get a phone call from me in the next couple days asking you for money because we need it.
Donate to her.
Mm-hmm.
Donate to her. You know, we make the joke about, say, if we had money, we'd be dangerous.
Well, listen, $5.
Yeah.
First of all, $5 tells me, especially if you live in our district, that you're going to vote for me.
Yeah.
But $5 adds up when we get an army of people. So even if it's $5, it shows that you are in it more. You're in the fight.
Well, and that's what I keep reminding people. I would rather have 1,000 people give $1 than one person give 10,000.
Absolutely.
Because that dollar represents a vote.
Well, and it represents all of those people that that are your constituents that one person doesn't own you.
Yeah. I like that. That's the right perspective. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're getting back to. That's what we're trying to get back to. And people need to, I'm telling you, no matter where you are or around the country, you need to pay attention to what's going on in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
So keep on fighting. When you get to Austin, you'll be the 6th person I know and trust.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, then you'll be the first person I know and trust. No, I trust Bob Hall.
I love
and
Bob
Brian
Hall.
Slayton.
I love Brian Slayton.
Other than that, nope.
No, it gets pretty thin.
It gets
thin. Pretty thin. I'll get some people who will text me going, "What do you mean? I'm out." I'm like, "Yeah, you're on the bubble." yeah, Steve Toth, even you are on the bubble. How about that? There's all, it's a bunch of folks down there that it's like, I
think if they had someone back that's there that does have the backbone, that'll be the first one to put their neck out. I think we can get some that'll follow.
I agree. I think you're right. Thank you for doing it. Luther4Texas.com. Check her out, donate, follow her, and God knows, vote for her. Real quick, you think they're going to delay the primary? They're saying they're not.
I think that Governor Abbott may not, because it's in his best interest for it to be soon as possible. Because remember, in my Senate race, I announced, and he said the race is in 2 weeks.
Yep. Speeding it up is
I feel like he fears the presence of these primary challengers. So if he doesn't, that would be the reason why.
I agree. Thank you. Hey, fall's here, and with it, cooler weather comes the flu season. Remember the flu? Yeah, it's still around. It's out there. You got to beef up your immune system with something that's tried and true, a daily dose of real fruits and vegetables. The kind you get in Field of Greens. Field of Greens is unlike any other superfood because it uses real USDA organic fruits and vegetables. It's packed with antioxidants that can support heart health and metabolism, blood pressure, and digestion, plus it's pre- and probiotic. Great for everybody in the family, even the kids, and unlike other nutritional drinks that rely on only one vegetable, Field of Greens is packed with 18 clinically researched essential fruits and vegetables. It's super easy. Just put a scoop of it in a glass of water, stir it up, drink it, and you're done. And it tastes great, by the way. You can go to brickhousechad.com. Now, that's a website right there.
That's a pretty good website.
Brickhousechad.com. Look at this brick house. Yeah. I'll get you 15% off with your first order with promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad at checkout. Give it a try. Brickhousechad.com. Use promo code Chad. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. The good news is Jack didn't fall down and break his crown, and Jill didn't come tumbling after him either. The second part of that story is fake news. You know why? Because there's no such thing as a slippery slope. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? No slippery slopes out there. Well, listen, if you've been operating under the presupposition that we as a society aren't sliding down the banister towards hell so fast that our ass is on fire, turn on your TV once in a while and join the fun. The other day, the story broke that Allyn Walker, a queer non-binary assistant professor at Old Dominion University, was making claims that people who are sexually attracted to minors, yeah, I said it, that's they call those minor attracted persons, or MAPs, because we needed an acronym for them. Of course we did. He said they shouldn't be stigmatized in society just because of the way they feel. He stated that there's a difference between someone who acts on it and someone who just wants to, and that while we absolutely must condemn people who commit acts of pedophilia, we shouldn't condemn those who avoid doing it. Walker has written an entire book on the subject. If you want to read it, I recommend keeping an eye on your local school's curriculum book list. I'm sure it'll be there soon. Folks, let me start by just steel manning my opponent's argument. You know about steel manning, right? It's where you start a debate by looking at any and all good points your opponent makes. So here's the only one that I can find. There probably are a subset of people out there who are attracted to children and who never act on it. I'd imagine the number is very small, but yeah, okay, they're out there. And my question is, so what? Because here's the deal. In many cases, the slippery slope is all too real, and it's never more real than in the constant march on the part of the left to subvert the dominant paradigm. If you're tired of hearing me say that, strap in, because just like the left, I'm never going to stop. Whatever the normal state of things is, the left seeks to uproot it and move it to something else, and it's always, always, always something bad. Now, when they sneeringly parody our argument about this very subject, how do they do it, and what do they say? They adopt the most southern-sounding accent they can muster, and they talk about how if we let this thing happen, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump away from pedophilia itself, and the next thing you know, people are going to be screwing dogs, as if that would somehow be worse than having sex with children. Listen, it's amazing how good the left is at confusing our priorities. And furthermore, if you don't think society can ever get so far that it normalizes sex with minors, please read a history book. Just one ought to do it. If it's a good one, it'll tell you the truth. This kind of thing happens all the time throughout history, and it's always a sign of the decadence and immorality that directly prefaces a societal fall. We're running around the boat trying to plug the holes and bail out water while the left is busy shooting holes in the deck, folks. We must not allow this kind of thing to be normalized. And I guarantee you, if this goes unchecked now, in 10 or 20 years, there will be, quote, science that proves kids can give consent to sex. Just watch. We've seen the left bend science to their will a million times already. Don't fall under the illusion that they can't do it again. Now, look, I'm all for compassion and for people getting help from for in some cases, listen, it might be a mental disorder, but we cannot normalize the mental disorder. It seems so obvious from the outside. Listen, the other thing that you've got to do is create distance between your kids and these woke ideological widget factories we call schools. Now, look, we may win the battle with schools, but the war is ongoing and it's going to be long and difficult. Meanwhile, your kids are growing up before your eyes and they're absorbing everything you tell them and everything their schools tell them. And if that doesn't shake you to your core, shake you into action, folks, it should. This is absolute insanity. It's nonsensical, but they're normalizing it. And they're pandering out there for people and their public consumption. So this guy, I mean, if you ever just watched a video, and I'm sure many times when you watch my videos, you just want to reach through the screen and slap somebody. You probably want to slap me, but if you got the clip, play it for me.
So much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person, or MAP, in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors. I've definitely heard the idea that you brought up, though, that the use of the term minor attracted person suggests that it's okay to be attracted to children. But using a term that communicates who someone is attracted to doesn't indicate anything about the morality of that attraction.
This person is mentally deranged. Mentally deranged. You try to talk about this like this is a normal form of behavior. Like this is a normal form of attraction. I mean, this person, you want to talk about cancel culture, you got to silence this. You got to silence this. I mean, sometimes there's stuff so profane, so insidious, so absolutely grotesque that you got to silence it. You got to shut that down. I mean, they're talking about sex with children. They're talking about attraction to minors. And I promise you, you don't just put the pit bull in the chicken coop and say, the pit bull is attracted to chickens. Because at some point in time, guess what? They get a taste for blood. They get a taste for chicken. And you know what they do? They don't just eat one chicken. They eat every damn chicken in the coop. You don't just say the dog's attracted to the birds. To try to justify that is asking for destruction. And they're trying to normalize this, folks. That's not the way it works. That's not human nature. If you truly believe that people can control themselves, my God in heaven, look at the garbage and the filth that they're pandering out there that we've just allowed to go unchecked now for decades, for a century now. Through media, through television, through everything from MTV to, God, I sound like my parents, from music videos to Super Bowl halftime parties. Look at this garbage they're putting out there, pandering with sexual innuendo and overt sexual reference and the hypersexualization. They got pornography in your kids' curriculum. In the library books. And now they're going to sit there and they're going to give a voice to somebody like this and say that he's what? An expert on what? Minor attraction? That is gross. You're right, Chris. I mean, golly, dude, the things I want to say about this, but you know what? I want to live to fight another day, so I'm not going to say them. And you know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. This is grotesque. And this is a professor at Old Dominion University. Non-binary, that's right. Which I don't understand how you could be a non-binary trans. What are you transitioning from if you're non-binary? I don't know. I get confused on all this stuff. I got to go back and read the Babylon Bee book and see if I can brush up on my terms. Allyn Walker, that's Allyn Walker. Check him out. You need to check him out because he needs to be shut up. He needs to be canceled.
Well, he was already canceled. If you look at his latest Twitter account,
good,
it's gone.
Good.
The Old Dominion have come out, and it wasn't even worth bringing up their statement because it was basically a 2-page paper essay about nothing.
Yeah. Woo! I'll tell you where it's going to lead, folks. I'll tell you where it's going to lead, and I'll tell you when we come back after the break. Paint Your Life. I love those guys. I want to give my mother a truly meaningful gift this holiday season. Hopefully she's not watching. I want to give her something that she can cherish. And then found out about paintyourlife.com. And I'll tell you what, it's my mother's going to love this portrait of me. Good. She's going to love this portrait of me. Listen, you can get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo or even a combination of photos at an affordable price. Send a picture of yourself, your children, your family, your pet, special place. And like I said, they'll put it all on a painting by a professional artist. Paint Your Life's compilation portraits. You can bring together your family members who never even had a chance to meet. You can put them in the same portrait. It's pretty impressive. A great gift for the entire family, especially as the holidays are coming up. At paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money will be refunded, guaranteed. And right now, a limited time offer. Get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off. And free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word CHAD, I spell it Chad, to 64000, 64,000. That's Chad to 64000. Text it to them today. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. We'll be right back. So I was having dinner with some friends last night, and I was sitting there talking with a friend of mine. She's Democrat, self-proclaimed Democrat, and she got to talking about how much she doesn't like Joe Biden, and but she hated She always has to qualify it and say she hated Donald Trump. And I said, well, what policies did you have an issue with when it came to Donald Trump? She said, no, I liked his policies. I thought he did a good job. I just didn't like him. And I said, so you voted for Biden. Which policies of his do you like? She goes, I hate all of them. And I said, but explain your logic there. She goes, I can't stand Trump. And I was like, but you liked his policies. And you see where this is going. And this is a very smart person. This is a person who works on people's brains in operating rooms. This is a very intelligent person. And this was the logic that they were using. And that's like saying, okay, I've got a brash, rude, tells crude jokes, says the wrong thing sometimes, can be offensive surgeon, pompous surgeon. But you know what? He tends to get the job done whenever he does his delicate surgeries versus an inept surgeon who it bumbles all over himself, fails at everything he does, and shits his pants. Now, which surgeon would you rather have operating on you? I think we know which the answer is. So there's a new poll out that shows a dire outlook for Democrats. Best midterm projection for Republicans in 40 years. So the poll discovered that among registered voters in the U.S., the current preference is Republicans over Democrats by a whopping 10 points, 51% to 41%. The pendulum is swinging. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's the biggest lead Republicans have had since November of 1981. That's huge. So we'll see how that continues to go. But the poll found that 70% of registered voters believe the economy is heading in the wrong direction. It is. That statistic has significant electoral consequences. 55% disapprove of Biden's economic performance, which is 6 points more than former President Trump's highest disapproval rating in the economy, September of 2017. 35% of independent voters approve of Biden, just 35%. So that's pretty strong. We'll see what happens. And then there's Kamala Harris. We all know that Kamala, she's getting isolated. You know, Jimmy Kimmel came out last week in his little monologue and said that people don't like Kamala Harris because they're racist and sexist. Of course, that's coming from the dude who hosted the Man Show in blackface.
Let's go.
So, I mean, you know, of course, he's going to accuse people of these guys, they pander. They're so sold out to their, you know, adrenochrome drinking pedophile friends. I mean, in Hollywood, it's insane. So the Biden administration is kind of marginalizing Harris because her ratings are just tanked. I mean, what, like 25% or something like that? I mean, pure garbage. Like I saw a poll on Twitter the other day that somebody posted, like, if you had to vote between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, which one would it be? And I just kept scrolling. I just couldn't. I mean, I couldn't even do a fake poll, a fake election that way. You know, back in March, Biden announced that Harris was going to lead the administration's talks with Mexico. She doesn't have a clue, man. I mean, you ever watch her? She goes to these places like these climate things, and she sits there and tries to ask questions like she's intelligent with the questions she's asking. It's like, what are you even talking about, lady? What are you even talking about? But again, we've normalized insanity, whether it's her pablum that comes out of her mouth or that Allyn dude, the non-binary, queer, trans, whatever he was, that's trying to normalize pedophilia. Like all this stuff's like into the conversation I had last night. It's like, listen to what you're saying. It's insanity. Listen to what you're saying. Man, we've lost any ability to think critically or have complex thought. You know what I need? I need a complex thinking TikTok is what I need. Oh. Chris, give me some of that.
I want to talk to the kids.
Good
Parents
God.
Watch the video and then hand the phone over to the young kids. Hi there. I get asked a lot, are you a boy or a girl? And I love that question. And so I wanted to just tell you, sometimes human beings are more than boy or girl. Sometimes we're something else. Sometimes we're both. Sometimes we kind of float in between, and sometimes we're a boy, sometimes we're a girl, because human beings are creatures, and we're wild and exciting.
no one asks that person if they're a boy or a girl. No one asks them that. And if I walked up to that person and said, are you a boy or a girl? They'd say, you are a misogynistic pig. How dare you ask me that question? Because, again, we're supposed to assume, to know what that person that floats back and forth as a wild individual, a creature, what they are. We don't know what you are. And here's the kicker. We don't care what you are.
Yeah.
What you are is weird. And just like you just want to cram it down everybody's throat, right? Listen, I want to cram what I believe down other people's throats. I do. I love sharing my convictions. I love telling you my paradigm and the way I view the world. You do the same thing. The only problem is I am not going to lose my crap every time you disagree with me. I expect you, actually, to disagree with me. But with you guys, y'all come peddling this weird stuff out there, and you think everybody's just supposed to swallow it. First of all, your eyeshadow doesn't match your 5 o'clock shadow. So I don't know what you're trying to accomplish in this whole thing.
I want to talk to the kids.
There you go. I want to talk to the kids. Like, smoke less every day. I mean, that deep, raspy voice.
That's not sexy?
I want to talk to the kids. You're scaring the kids. My gosh, you're frightening them. Don't talk to the kids.
I want to talk to the kids.
I want to talk to the kids. Stay away from my kids. I don't want you to talk to my kids. And no, my kids aren't allowed to make decisions to talk to weird-ass people like you.
Thank you.
Especially when you got college professors out there saying that some people like you or anybody else that's out there might be attracted to the minors. So no, you just revealed that you're freaks. And I don't know that person is, but just look at yourself. Stop. I don't want you talking to the kids. No kids. No kids. Stay away from the Chuck E. Cheese. Don't talk to the kids. I want to talk to the kids. Hey, kids, can I bum a cigarette? I want to talk to the kids. I want to give them makeup tips. Oh, my God. Stay away from the kids. We'll be right back. So we know that the judge in the Kyle what's his name, Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah.
Started to say it and it just sounded wrong to me. They dismissed the gun charge in that, so that's good news. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe by the time you're watching this, we've had more of the verdict that's come out. But I want to encourage you guys, give you a deal for the holidays. Go to chadonblaze.com, shop our Blaze collections. If you use promo code CHAD20, you get 20% off. Get your pure-blooded shirt, your FJB. I have a lot of people who are really mad at me on social media who are saying, we're not following you because we don't believe in the FJB thing. Well, I do. And you can get it on a shirt from chadonblaze.com and use promo code CHAD20. I encourage you guys. It's going to be in Amarillo, Texas for a campaign event Thursday night. That's the 18th, so come out and hang. And just know that I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate you. I appreciate Shelley Luther and what she's doing. She's a great champion for conservative values in the state of Texas. And so support her, lutherfortexas.com. And, of course, I appreciate your support, Prather2022.com. We don't have the big donors. We don't have the big money, and we need it. We really do. We've got to stay in this primary race. The things are heating up in a big, big way, especially now that O'Rourke is in the race. This primary is going to matter. So I appreciate all the donations, and I appreciate the support we have. Go to where podcasts are offered. We need some reviews. So give us a 5-star and a great review. That's all we'll accept. And know that we'll be with you tomorrow night, Tuesday. Love you. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye.